Well, good afternoon, and this is Surya Acharya. I'm the chair for Alberta Forage Industry Network. Um, this is our general meeting, annual general meeting we have every year. Along with it, we would have conference. In the beginning, we will have the AGM part, and then after the AGM is done, we will move into the conference part. So I think before we do anything, I should say that Alberta Forage Industry Network respectfully acknowledges that we live and work on the traditional lands of the Indigenous peoples, Inuit, First Nations, Métis of Canada. We honor the ancestry, heritage, and gifts of the Indigenous peoples and give thanks to them. So with that, I think we start the meeting. But before we get into the meeting, it is my responsibility to inform you some housekeeping things. If it was in-person meeting, we would be saying where the washrooms are and where to go for coffee. But instead, I'll just tell you how to navigate this system. If you have any technical issues, please use the chat for assistance. If you have a question for the presenter or panelists, please use the Q&A button. If you would like to ask a question verbally, then please raise your hand and our moderator, Amanda, would would unmute you so that you can ask your question. Please fill out the survey at the end so that we can improve if we have to. These are our kind sponsors. Because of these 12 sponsors, I think we feel comfortable hosting this in this manner. There are expenses, but nobody is coming anywhere, but we have some expenses. And I'm so glad that so many sponsors were kind enough to fork out some money to let us do this. I think it is very important that we have their support. I believe they supported us in the past and they will be supporting us in future too. Vast majority of them are seed companies and things like that, but I think we are a big organization with many parts to it. And I must say that this meeting is not just one day. Today is the only day when we are doing it in the afternoon. Next 2 days will be in the evening, and this is on in front of you. I think you have the program for tomorrow and day after. The program for tomorrow would start at 7, and day after also the program would start at 7 in the evening. We have very famous speakers for this program, so please attend the next two sessions too. In this session, we will have the AGM, as I said earlier. Then we will move into conference part where there will be some presentations. Now, I think it is my duty to first introduce all our board members. You can see them on your screen. The first one is me. Second, our vice chair is Ed Shaw. Our treasurer is Nora Polovich. We have the past president is Chris Fulcott, Mackenzie Pamela Stronk, John Bland, Doug Ray, Amber Kenyon, Grant Lastuka, Kim Cornish, Mark Hagan, Brent Thigerson, and we have two representatives from the industry. One is Erica representative Alan Hall, and ABP, Alberta Beef Producers representative is Lori Keeney. We also have two advisors. Holly Meyer is advisor from the federal side, and we have Carmen Andrew, who is acting as advisor from the provincial government. And Last but not the least, we have Amanda Bustard, who is our office staff. And actually, she is the most important person here. So pay attention to her. Whenever she says something, just follow it without any questions, because she handles all the control. I must also inform everybody that we have worked into a um, major work with this, with farming the web, is now the online marketplace made for farmers by farmers, we say, and it is powered by afin. We have taken the responsibility to set it up so that and try to make it as user friendly as possible so that all the farmers in Alberta would use this as one stop marketing place for buying or for selling. So, with that, I think I will again repeat. I think all of you probably have seen the agenda for the afternoon. And the very first part, I'm already into it. Now we will move into the leadership award presentation. And after that, we will have the formal AGM. Why we chose to do this is because the previous board had elected or overwhelmingly supported our new 2021 award winner. This leadership award winner would be the first one to be introduced, and after that, we will move into AGM. So, with not further ado, I think you have seen on your screen the rest of it. I will move to the 2021 Leadership Award recipient. The recipient of our 2021 Alberta Forage Industry Leadership Award is our past chair, Christine Fulkert. She is a professional agrologist and is an Olds College plant science instructor since 2001. She is liked by all the AFIN members. That's why she was overwhelmingly and unanimously elected to be our 2021 award winner. She is also liked by her students, and she has very good training for becoming the instructor. She has a bachelor's degree in biology from Augustana campus of the University of Alberta and a master's degree in plant science from the University of Alberta. She also has a diploma in integrated pest management from Olds College. She grew up on a mixed farm between Edson and Whitecourt, Alberta, where her family still operates the farm. She worked in research prior to her teaching appointment and has extensive research experience as she worked in Alberta Research Council, Forestry Canada, Canola Council of Canada, West Central Forage Association, and Prairie Turfgrass Research Center. She is very well connected in agricultural field as she is a member of many professional associations and societies. She and her husband, Ben, live in Olds. They love traveling and are outdoors as much as possible. She says she is passionate about agriculture and passing that enthusiasm to future leaders in agriculture, especially forages and grasslands. She joined AFIN soon after its establishment in 2010 and has been the board member ever since. In spite of her busy schedule as an instructor, she effectively chaired AFIN for 2 terms just before I took over as the chair. I accepted the AFIN chair position with her assurance that she would be available for giving me help when I needed them. And I think I should also say, on a personal note, that she was actually chosen for this award last year, but she allowed me to get the award for some reason. And that's why I think I also appreciate that gesture. I think she was so kind to step aside so that I can get the award last year. Now with that, I present to you our 2021 award winner, Chris Folkert.
Go.
All right. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Surya, for those kind words. I just feel very honored to be getting this award. I'm sure there's many others that probably are way more deserving. You know, when you get into the limelight of people like Don McClelland and Doug Ray, Ed Shaw, Grant Lestuc, and of course Surya Acharya for winning this award in the past. It really is something very special. And I kind of was thinking about it. I think I'm the first woman to win this award. So that's even more special. And again, like I said, there's so many women in and also in forages that should be sharing this award with me. I also like to mention that two of my past students, Brent Thiggeson and Mick Plemel-Stronks, I taught both of those students, and it really gives me a humbling feeling to see that these students are these graduates from Olds College are now part of the Alberta Forage Industry Network. And yeah, just again, really started out as a kid chasing cows on the farm. And I think that's still kind of the case. Kind of miss that now with my position here at the college. But this has been a great organization to be a part of. The whole networking piece, you know, there's lots of people that I never would have met if it wasn't for this Forage Industry Network. And really encourage anyone that's thinking about becoming a member to do so. And becoming a member on the board has also been very rewarding. Great people to work with. And again, thank you very much. And hope you enjoy this conference. I think it's going to be excellent. Forages on the water cycle, that's super important. Thanks, everybody, and have a good day. In the essence of time, I think we'll cut her short. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chris. That was very nice of you, I think, to say those few interesting words. Now, I think the meeting is open. It is our AGM. This is annual AGM, so our annual general meeting. So we have few things we have to go through. And for that, to save time, what we have done is we have already consulted some of our board members, and they have put their name, those who are moving some of these important things, move. And second, this was the agenda is moved by Brent Thiggeson, and Mackenzie seconded it. So please take a look at it and let me know if you have any suggestions to change or if you don't like something. And if there is no discussion involved, then I would say that we move to the next point. But if you want to do the approval of the agenda as it is presented, please vote for this, yes or no, or raise your hand so that we can get to you. If there is no discussion on the approval of agenda, then I suggest that the agenda is approved.
Sorry, we do have John that has raised his hand. Just one.
Okay, John, go ahead. Can you unmute him so that he can say?
Maybe it was just you raising his hand to vote.
Yeah, I was just raising my hand to vote.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So it is approved then. Next time I will just ask for those who are against it so that it would be simpler. Approval of minutes from the March 10th, 2020 meeting. I think you must have all seen. I think we had forwarded that ahead of time. At this time, I think we have what we are asking for is if there are some omissions or mistakes that needs to be corrected. Again, this was moved by Mackenzie and seconded by Kim. Is there anyone who is against adopting the minutes of the meeting? Adopting the minutes of the last meeting? Did you see any hands, Amanda?
No, I don't see anyone, and there's no comments. So there's,
Okay, so it is then adopted as presented. So we move to the next item, and that is the biggest item in the in the afternoon's proceedings, and it is our financial report. I'll turn this over to our treasurer, Nora, who would deal with this and the auditor's report too.
Just a quick update before I turn this over to our auditors. As Surya had mentioned, 2020 was a big year for afin as we had submitted a funding proposal to CAP, Canadian Agriculture Partnership Program, to help fund the creation of a website for marketing products, which would have been similar to what the general store was on Roping the Web. Our proposal was approved for $355,000. This was the most funds that afin had seen. So we, to be fiscally responsible, we created opened up 2 more bank accounts so that there is a checking account for Farm in the Web and plus a savings account. We also applied for and received a credit card, and a phone was purchased for the sole purpose for use by afin contract employee Amanda. Up to this point, we had been relying on using personal cell phones and felt it was prudent that afin actually purchased their own cell phone. Amanda Buster joined us this year as our admin late 2020, replacing Kristen, who of course had done a great job, but Kristen Hall went on. She was pretty busy with her family life. So Amanda joined us, and since joining us, she's put in more time, of course, maintaining the website, and plus she's taken over some of the financial accounting, and we have purchased QuickBooks software, so she now has everything on that, so we're going to be very streamlined for 2021. So with that, I will turn it over to our esteemed reviewers, Dale Khalil and Carlisle Ross. Thanks.
If we can make this work. Share that bad boy. Hi, guys. Can you guys see that?
I
no.
have to share the screen first.
Do that again. Share that. And that. And share.
There we go.
There we go. Sorry. Now are we good?
Yes.
All right. My friend Carlisle is on his way, so if I say anything wrong, he won't be here to take the blame. So Carlisle Ross and I set to the task of auditing the financials on afin. They provided us with sufficient materials to do the audit, and we did a check, and we feel that the statements are prepared accurately reflect the financial activity of the society. I want to run quickly through You actually, you have in your package all the statements. And if you have any questions along the way, we'll address them at the end. Take a look, quick highlights of the financial activities. We have an income statement, a balance sheet, and a cash flow statement, and notes arising from the audits to present to you. Highlights of activities. We started out, as Nora indicated, fairly small, with a balance in the bank account of about $3,300, and took in a fair chunk of cash, and sent out a fair amount of cash and ended up with 328 PN. Major influxes for farming the web of 355,000 and CFJA plots of 7,000, and they are on account with
Hello.
us. Yes.
Yeah.
And in store to be
I'm
spent the next year. So highlights quickly. Tend to average around 1,000 in net income a year, and in 2020 net income, aside from farming the web, but including the CFGA, average or was about $6,400. This gives you an indication of the average net income for the society over the period of 2014 to 2020 without farming the web. And here's a summary table of opening and closing balances, receipts, expenses, and net income. And you can see how things have changed with the influx of dollars from for farming the web. I've broken out the financial statements between afin, proper farming the web, and then the sum of both, so you can get an idea of how funds flowed in and out. Here we have some funds that came in for CFJA plots that have yet to go out, and we also have the influx of the, was it cap funds, I believe. Total net for the year of $225,000 in net income. Balance sheet is basically, they're basically account statements as well as the GIC that was set aside so that the phone, et cetera, could be purchased. It's fairly straightforward. And this is just the cash reconciliation. We started out with 3307 when we had funds in. It got shunted back and forth between accounts. We opened the GIC under afin, and the rest of the cap funds went to farming the web for operations. So we're left. These are the balances: 9,600, 9,700, 10,000, 3,600, and 205,000 for each of those separate activities. Notes arising from audit, pretty straightforward. Yet to be determined what we're going to do with GST. Have to think about what to do about fixed asset accounting. But one of the things we looking forward to is with QuickBooks coming online, we should make things an awful lot easier for us in terms of transparency, reporting, and budgeting efficiency. And there you go. Have you had enough? Or are you hungry for more? Any questions? Having heard none, I can turn it back over to you if I can figure out how to do that.
I already took it over.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dale and Carlisle, for a very in-depth report and review. Thank you.
Thank you.
Laura, will you move for approval
Yes.
of your financial report, please?
I move the financial report as presented be adopted.
Seconder, please.
I'll second that. That's Chris Folkerth.
Any discussions? ask again, any discussions? If not, I say the motion to approve the financial report is accepted as presented. Can we move past that, Amanda?
Yeah, we've moved on to the appointment of auditors.
Yeah, I think one of the things we do normally in the AGM is appoint auditors for the next year, and this is what we are suggesting. Lori and Ed are moving that we keep the same um, auditors for year 2021, Dale Khalil and Carlisle Ross. Any discussion on that? And I understand that they are happy with the amount of money they're getting for this. They don't mind serving it for another year. I think they're getting zero as auditors. Has anyone raised hand or anything?
No raising hands, no comments.
Okay. Dale says that we have to pay twice as much as this year, and I agree 100%, because 0 times 2 is again same 0. If there is no objection, then I would say that we are accepting the 2 auditors for next year. Now, normally we have the election at this stage, but because of COVID and because of the complications attached to all doing the meetings and things like that, what we suggested to our board members is if they would continue for another year, then it would make things much simpler for our AGM. And most of them agreed. Only one person um, um, said he would not run, and his name is not here. I think his picture is not here because of that. So we are actually electing for one more board member to replace our secretary. He was actually our secretary.
Surya Dale is on the line, so I think if we want to just say thank you for his.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we definitely thank Dale Ingstrom for a nice job. He was keeping us in track. Whenever we made any mistake, um, well, particularly deviated from our bylaws, he would put us straight back again in line. So I hope that we will have another person who would become our secretary who would do the same for us, because sometimes we forget our bylaws. We don't pay too close attention to it, but it is important that we do this. Pay attention to our bylaws and not deviate from our bylaws. So with that, we have one person who has agreed to join our board. Can somebody nominate the person, Doug?
Yes, I'd be happy to do that, Surya. But before I do, I just want to recognize Dale's contribution to several afin policy statements,
Yeah.
particularly around the environment and carbon, etc. Dale put in some good work, and his experience really was useful there. So thanks very much to Dale for that. And I would nominate Alex Robertson as for the board. Alex is finishing his term as chair of Foothills Forage and Grazing Association. He's been on that board for 2 terms now, so he's stepping off of there by their bylaws, and thinks he has some time to contribute. So Alex and Carol ranch at just in the foothills of the Rockies at Longview, and he's been, active in the grazing and soil health conferences for years, and in the ranching community in southwestern Alberta. So I'd nominate Alex Robertson.
Seconder, please.
I'll
Nora
second.
seconds.
Okay, Amber, thank you. So I think because we have an opening, I think, are there other nominations? If we don't have any other nomination, then we can probably easily accept one person because we have one opening anyway. I'll ask again, are there other nominations to serve on the board? If not, we will accept the nomination that Doug made. Thank you. And all we need to do is have his name and phone number and address and things like that sent to Amanda so that he can be included in our board. And Dale, thank you very much for serving in our board. Only thing is, I think you are asking to see our see the meeting proceedings and things like that. And that is one thing I think we will decide whether we should put it in the in our website, or if it is not acceptable for putting it in the website, and if you are interested, we can always share it with you in future. That's what I would say. So we have, again, we are back to all the members we had. Now we have 2 advisors, Holly and Carmen. I don't know whether Carmen has joined the meeting today, or Holly is on the line also. If not, I think they are good advisors. They represent, they are knowledgeable about things happening in the respective governments. So I think I would suggest that we will encourage them to stay with us for another year. Anyone doesn't like that idea? If not, then we will move to the next item.
Surya, we do have a comment, Daniel Limoges.
Okay.
I'm just gonna let him to talk,
Yeah,
Daniel.
okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry about meeting proceedings. I did take a look at your website and they are all on. If you're
Mhm. Like all of our meeting minutes for the past couple of years are on our members page.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
that's
you're a
correct.
member, you have access to it. Okay, that's good.
Sorry, that was all. Thanks.
Thank you.
That's the way we want it, because it's not open for everybody, but the members have access to it. Great, thank you. So now I'll suggest we take a minute or 2 break, and I'll turn it over to our Vice Chair, Ed Shaw. For chairing the next session, next part.
Do we first need a motion for adjournment of this part of it?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you are very right.
Oh, yeah.
See, you are very good at making that motion.
So
Go ahead and make it.
I moved to make to adjourn the business part of the meeting and move on to the next.
Okay, it doesn't require a seconder, so I accept your motion and the meeting is adjourned. Sorry about that, Ed. Thank you for reminding.
No problem.